This is lesson 15-4 in math, and we are learning about cubes. You should have already watched the visual learning video on Pearson Realize. Okay, I have a cube in front of me here too if we need to, and we can look at the picture here that he's holding. It says we need to describe the shape in 3 or more ways. So on the video, we've learned different parts about a cube, how we can describe it. First of all, you have the flat side of the shape. That's right here, this flat side. Those were called faces. So we're going to write down face and draw a line to that flat part. Okay, we learned where the faces come together. They create this line here, which is called an edge. That's this line right there where the two faces meet. And then we also learned that when the two edges come together, they make this point called a vertex. So, there is a difference in 3D shapes than in polygons or flat shapes. A 3D shape is one that is not flat on a piece of paper. It has lots of sides that pop out, okay? It's things in the real world. You can't have it flat on paper. When you have those polygons, we learned that the sides and the edges, the sides and the vertices and the angles all matched. It was always the same number. In a 3D shape, they will not always match, okay? So just because it has, for example, 8 faces, it does not mean it's going to have 8 edges and 8 vertices. It will not always match. So let's see how much a cube has. Now, since a cube in real life is not flat, when we have a picture or a drawing of it, there's parts that we cannot see. There's an edge back here on the other side of the cube that we cannot see. So we have to imagine the back side that we can't see when we're counting them up. We can do this by picturing real life objects that are those shapes. And or just by practicing, you can draw like I did here, a background, these dashed lines or light lines in the background to show what would be on the other side. So let's go ahead and describe this cube. I have here, this cube here. Let's see. We have a top, a face on top, a face on the bottom. Okay, that's 2. And then going around the cube, there is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 for the top and bottom and 4 going around. So that means there is a total of 6 faces. So we're going to write a cube has 6 faces. Does this mean I'm going to say that it has 6 edges? No. Okay, they don't automatically match on 3D shapes. I need to count the edges. So again, here's my cube, or we can imagine this one here. Edges are these lines where the faces come together. So here's the top. And we see on the top, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's going to be the exact same number on the bottom. The bottom will also have 4. So far we have 4 edges, and the bottom has 4 edges. We have 8 edges so far. Now the sides also have edges. So let's count how many are going around on the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had 4 on top, 4 on the bottom, and 4 going around on the sides. So 4 added 3 times would be 12. So let's write that down. It also has 12 edges. Now let's write our third thing to describe how many vertices does it have. Those are those points where the edges come together. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 on top and 4 on the bottom. So it had a total of 8 edges. I'm sorry, not edges, 8 vertices. Last, it has 8 vertices. Okay, back side. Okay, each face on a cube has these right angles here. Okay, because a cube is a square on each face. Okay, these are cubes here. These are not cubes. Why is this not a cube? Because this is a rectangle. One of the faces is a rectangle, and in order to be a cube, all the faces have to be a square. And this is not a cube because this is a flat shape. This is a quadrilateral or a square. It's a polygon. It is flat. Okay. You can use dot paper to help you draw a cube. The dashed lines show the edges that you can't see when you look at a solid cube. So the dots help us with our spacing. You draw a square and you know that you count the dots so that it's the same number on each side, because we know a square has to have equal lengths on all the sides. So you count going across. We used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one had 5 dots going across and 5 dots up and down. So that way we know it is equal. And then what you do is you draw another square a couple dots away, also 5 dots going across and up and down, and then you can connect it. So I'll show you when we do number 2 on the paper how to draw it. Okay, what solid figure has 6 equal faces? We know that's a cube. And what is the shape of each face? We just said earlier the shape of each face is a square. Circle the cubes in the group of shapes and be ready to explain how you know they're cubes. All right, let's look at the first one. I know that this is a cube because they each have square faces. So yes. This is not a cube because this face is a rectangle shape. This is not a cube. The face is a triangle shape. This is not a cube. The faces are triangle shapes. And lastly, I see this is a cube. Each face is a square. Okay, here we're going to go ahead and practice drawing. So here's what you got to do. We're going to count equal dots. So 1, 2, I count the dot that I'm started drawing with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now since I have 5 dots connected up and down, I need to have 5 dots connected side to side. I'm going to count my first dot as one of the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes I have students who don't count this dot, and then one of your sides ends up being longer than the other one. So go back and double check that you have the same number of dots being connected. And now we can go up and connect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing up here. I'm going to use 5 dots again. The same number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and 5 to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dots are connected. So the first step is to make 2 equal squares that are just side by side. One's on top of the other just a little bit. You see that? All right, then all you have to do is connect them. So we're going to connect this corner to that corner. And down here, I'm going to connect this corner to that corner. I'm going to connect this corner to that corner. And this corner to that corner. And you just drew a cube. So you draw your 2 squares and you draw 4 connecting corners together. Pretty neat. A lot of my students like to draw cubes once we learn how to do this. You don't have to have dot paper. You can do it on blank paper too. You have a square, draw another square to the side of it, and connect the corners. And you can draw a cube. All right. You will need to know how to draw cubes, so I do want you practicing this. Okay, next page. We need to describe if the shape is a cube, then draw a line from each shape to cube or not cube. All right, is this orange shape a cube? No, it is not a cube. It has a triangle face. Is the blue one a cube? Yes. Is this red one a cube? No, not a cube. And is the green one a cube? Yes. Okay, trace the cube shown below, and how many faces can you see? So we're going to just trace this. How many faces can you see? It's not asking for what a normal cube will have, only what we see. How many faces do we see right now? We see 3. But we know a cube actually has 6 faces, not 3. Okay, how many vertices do these 2 cubes have in all? So, again, we can't see all the vertices on here because there's a side, the back side, that you can't see. So I'm going to take this one out to help us again. Here we go. Think of like a tissue box. If you have an empty square tissue box at home, that can help you. Any square shaped box can help you. Let's find the vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on top. So the bottom is going to have the same. 4 on the bottom. So 4 on top plus 4 on the bottom makes 8 vertices. This cube is going to have the same amount because it's also a cube. It will have 8 vertices. And 8 plus 8, that's a double, we know is 16. So in all, there are 16 vertices. Okay, how many faces do these 2 cubes have in all? Remember, the face is that flat part. So here's my box. I have 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. That's 2 so far. And then I have 4 going around. So 2 plus 4 more makes 6 faces. Cube has 6 faces. 6. This one has to also be 6. 6 plus 6, that's a double, we know is 12. It has 12 faces. Okay, back side. Scott is holding a solid figure with 6 equal faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. Scott says the figure is a cube. Carmen says the figure is a square. Who is correct? Explain. Okay, who is right? Would it be a cube or a square if we have 6 faces, 12 edges, and vertices? It will be Scott is correct because squares do not have faces or edges. Okay. Sorry about my phone in the background. Just kind of ignore that. Okay. Circle the vocabulary word that completes the sentence. A cube has 6 blank. What belongs in the blank? A cube has, does it have 6 vertices? Those are the dots. We knew it was 4 corners on top, 4 on the bottom. It would be 8 vertices, so it's not vertices. Faces, it has 1 on top, 1 on the bottom, plus 4 more. Ooh, it has 6 faces. Let's double check edges. Edges had 4 edges on top, 4 on the bottom, plus 4 on the sides. That was 12. So it was 6 faces. Number 9, use a place value 1's cube or another solid cube. Look at the cube as you turn it. Turn the cube in any direction. What is the greatest number of faces you can see at one time? And explain. So let's go ahead and look at my cube. Any direction. So it's actually kind of hard on a camera. So I want you to, it's going to depend on how you're looking at it. If you look at it straight up and down, how many faces are we going to see? We're only going to see 1. But if we look at it at an angle, how many faces now do you see? Okay, let's look at it this way. How many faces can we see? I can see 3 right now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what's the greatest? Can we get bigger than 3? I don't know. Let's see. Let's turn it. No, that's only 2. 1, 2, 3. That's 3. Now we're back at 2. 3. What if I turn it this way to try to see the bottom? 1, 2, 3. I think 3 is the most we're gonna get. I'm turning. 1, 2, 3. So the most you can ever see is 3. The greatest number is 3. And we're going to have to explain. Let's just say it is a 3D shape. So you can't see all of it at once. Okay, complete the sentences about the cube. A cube is a solid, I guess it's looking for shape here. A cube has blank equal faces. We know it had 6 equal faces. It has blank vertices. It has 8 vertices. And it has blank edges, 12 edges. Great. You're going to do your homework and send me a picture.